Welcome to our Moon Salutation yoga class. The overarching energetic theme is connecting beyond ourselves. The moon is powerful and it affects us. It affects our environment. And so instead of kind of this introspective processing that we talked about last week, I'd really rather us think about what affects us and how do we just be. The other portion of discussing the moon is kind of the shadow. The sun is the bright light, whatever is, front and center, and then the shadow, the moon, is what is directly behind. So I hope that as we practice today in this class, you just let whatever gets uncovered get uncovered and allow it to be kind of affected by something greater than yourself. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to do the poses of the Moon Salutation in order. So it won't necessarily be the Moon Salutation at first. We're just going to do those poses. And then we're going to do just one cycle of the Moon Salutation, which is nice. You go through it twice, but it's one cycle. And then we're going to end on our back with some stretches that kind of reflect what the poses that we've done. The poses are all familiar. If you've done yoga before, you've done every single one of these poses. So there's not a big learning curve here. It should feel really good. It's super pregnancy friendly. It's really kind of everything friendly. And I hope you enjoy it. We're going to get started right away just standing, right in the middle of your mat. I have 2 blocks, FYI. They might be useful. They're really not necessary. So grab them if you want. Feet hips width apart, toes straight ahead, and just stand. We're going to stand with eyes closed to start accessing that shadow, that layer underneath. What not everyone sees, what maybe you sometimes cover up or disregard. Take a moment to find that layer and bring it to the surface a little bit. Allow yourself to be affected by whatever is going on around. Notice it, and then return inside. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms touch if you can. If not, shoulder distance is great. On an exhale, side bend to the right. So push into your left foot. Reach to the right. Stay here. Keep reaching. Just because it's the moon doesn't mean it's not powerful. We're going to access our power. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend other way. I like to hook my thumbs when I press my palms together. That helps keep the hands together. You can keep pushing into right foot now. Leaning over, staying long and open through your side body. And breathing. Inhale up. Exhale, step wide into goddess pose. Toes out, heels in. No traditional vinyasas in this class, FYI. Toes out, heels in, sit into goddess. So this is kind of like the quintessential moon pose, that feminine energy. Regardless of your gender, we all have feminine energy. Sit lower. Take a deeper breath, stay in it, get a little low. Find those deep spots, those dark spots. Just be with them. Inhale, arms reach, legs reach. We're going to stay in this star shape. So you should be reaching your hands, reaching your head, staying upright with your trunk. Feet push into the mat. One more breath. Keep the action. Arms active, legs active. Good. Now turn your left toes towards the long edge of the mat. Kick your right heel out and reach forward into triangle. So this is a place where maybe a block would be helpful. Reach right hand high. Breathe in triangle pose. So as I mentioned, as we start out here, we're going to do each pose side to side. Later on, we'll take one flow from pose to pose to pose and go the other way. Turn up towards that right hand if you can with your gaze. Take one more breath. Inhale, rise up, transition feet. Right toes towards the top of the mat. Kick your left heel back. Legs are straight. Heart over hips, arms wide. Inhale. Exhale, triangle pose. Grab your block if you like. Twist open. And so there should be a push-pull in every pose. That lifting up, that pushing down. Turn your gaze up if that feels good. Otherwise, adjust up in a different way. One more breath. Good, come up. Hands on hips this time. Turn again, left foot towards the top of the mat. Turn your hips to face the top of the mat. Left leg straight, right toes point towards the front corner of your mat. Big inhale. Exhale, fold over that left leg. And again, I'm sorry, I'm just going to use the blocks for anyone who needs it, and it just feels good in my body right now. So I'm going to flatten the blocks alongside my shin. If you want to take a couple pulses of the spine to lengthen and fold, this is Parsvottanasana, often called pyramid pose. So we're drawing that energy up like a pyramid, but rooting down at the edges. Ground your hips. And so by that I mean kind of steer them so that they put the maximum energy into your feet. Bend knee, come on up. Bring your hands to your hips and steer the other way. So we're going to turn on the feet. And often when you do that, you end up stepping a little closer. So I want you to widen your stance, front to back. Steer your hips forward. Right foot forward, left heel down, left toes pointing towards the corner of the mat. Legs straight. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, dive forward. And I say legs straight because theoretically that's the pose. But you can always bend your front knee, especially if you've got really tight hamstrings where it's hard to balance, you can't quite reach the ground. So work with your body. Kind of dig under that top layer and see what you really need. Once again, push the feet down, lift up through the middle of that triangle, and then ground your hips by steering them to truly energize your feet. Inhale, lift up, and this time you're going to bend your right knee and adjust yourself into low lunge. So drop your left, right knee bent. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. So I want that energy upwards again, just like in triangle pose. Pull your belly in, lift your heart, maybe touch your hands together if that's okay for your shoulders. Push down through right foot and left knee and breathe here. So this should be an active lunge. Inhale up. And transition on your mat to the other side. Left knee bent, right knee down, toes straight ahead. Always make sure that you've got the right distance so that you can feel supported, spacious, connected. Inhale, arms up. Sink in, lift up, breathe. Inhale up. This time, once again, we're going to move into the next pose. So keep that left foot forward. Lift your right knee and transition. Again, I'll use the block just for consistency. You're going to transition into Skandasana. So I need wider feet to do that. Right leg is extended, toes up. Left heel is down, knee bent. I've got the block to support. Lift your chest. So if you're more flexible or you've kind of warmed up before this, you could maybe get into it a little deeper. This is the first yoga I'm doing today, so I want to be really careful with where my body's at and just kind of feel into it. Keep breathing here. Transition other side. So start with straight legs and then move over to that right knee. Bend right knee, lift left toes. Use a block or not. And really right heel should be grounded. Lift your heart. Great. Move through. We're at our last pose. Our last pose of the prep. So you're going to heel toe your feet in. Toes out, heels in. And come into low squat, Malasana. Pregnant folks, this is a great, or anyone with like low back issues, it's great to sit on the block, especially if you just have it there. Or Squat in, elbows inside of your thighs, heels down if appropriate. Otherwise, you can lift your heels, but they should both be the same height as each other. And then really draw upward with your spine, all variations. Take a couple breaths. Again, this is also like a quintessential moon pose. That feminine, earthy energy can get a little dark as we access the hips. So just be with it. Be with whatever comes up, whatever is affecting you. Two more breaths, really deep breaths. Go ahead and stand up all the way. Step your feet, hips width apart, right in the middle of your mat. And I want you to just be. Be in the middle of that movement, of that stillness, of the sun, of the moon, the light and the dark. Great. So we're going to go through one full round, which is actually two. It feels like two full cycles. So we do each pose 4 times. We're not going to linger very long. We're going to make it feel like a vinyasa. And now that you know all the poses, or you've been all the poses have been laid out there for you, it should feel really kind of accessible. I'm not going to use my props. We're just going to stay in the poses for about 2 breaths each. But if you'd like to use your props, great. And if it gets confusing, just kind of linger and maybe revisit this video another time. So we're going to move left and right on the mat. I'm going to try to get my lefts and rights correct. And otherwise, you can just guide with me. But the idea would be that you can look at the camera and mirror the movement with me. So let's get started right in the middle of your mat, facing me. Reach arms up, inhale. Exhale, tilt right. Inhale, stay. Exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, step left, goddess pose, right into it. Inhale, goddess. Exhale, stay. Inhale, straight arms, straight legs, make it active like a star. Exhale, keep that action. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, turn left toes forward, kick right heel back, move into triangle pose. Inhale, triangle pose. Exhale, stay right here. Big inhale. Exhale, hand to hip. Pivot your hips over left leg. Step your right heel in a little bit. Fold, Parsvottanasana. Inhale to lengthen spine. Exhale, soften over left leg. Inhale, bend left knee, heart lifts. Exhale, drop right knee for lunge. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink the hips, keep heart lifted. Inhale. Exhale, hands inside of left foot, lift the right knee and transition, Skandasana. Inhale, pull your spine long. Exhale, stay. Inhale, transition through center and heel toe your feet in. Toes out, heels in. Exhale, Malasana. Squat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, lift the hips to transition. Inhale here, toes out, heels in, wide feet now. Exhale, bend your right knee, lift your left toes. Skandasana. Inhale. Exhale, turn right toes towards the top of the mat. Drop your left knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink in. Big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands frame right foot, lift left knee, step the foot down, and pivot your hips so they're square. Fold over right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, soften your knees, step your left foot back. Rise up, triangle pose. Left arm up, right hand down. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift up, turn your feet parallel, or rather toes out is fine. Stay here as you exhale, activate arms and legs. Inhale, exhale, goddess. Big inhale, exhale. Inhale, step together. Exhale, tilt left. Inhale, stay super long. Exhale here. Inhale, up. Exhale, let it go. One more side. We'll stay right where we are. Inhale, up. Exhale, tilt left. Inhale, stay long. Exhale. Inhale, up. Big step. Exhale, goddess. Breathe. Inhale, arms and legs straight like a star. Exhale, keep the action and the energy. Inhale, transition feet. Right toes towards top of mat. Kick left heel back. Make sure they're wide. Exhale, right hand to shin, left arm up. Triangle. One more big inhale, left hand high. Exhale, pivot hips, step left toes in, fold over right leg, Parsvottanasana. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend right knee, drop left. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, sink hips. Inhale, lift heart. Exhale, hands inside of right foot, lift left knee. Lift left toes, Skandasana. Inhale, transition, heel toe your feet closer together. Exhale, drop in, Malasana. Squat. Lengthen spine. Just be in it. Inhale, lift hips and heel toe your feet wide. Make sure they're wide enough. Exhale, bend left knee, lift right toes, Skandasana. Inhale, transition, left knee bends, right knee down. On your next inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale here. Big inhale. Exhale, hands frame left foot, tuck right toes, lift that knee. And then drop the right heel, steer over left leg. On an exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale. Inhale, peel up and adjust right foot as you come into triangle pose. Right hand high, left hand anchored. Exhale. Big breath here. Inhale, straighten arms and legs, toes out, heels in. Stay here as you exhale. Big inhale, keep your arms and legs active. Exhale, goddess. Breathe. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, transition, side bend to the right. Big step. Inhale, get longer. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, stand, and just be with it. Let that underneath layer come to the surface. So that might be just what the doctor orders, and you want to continue on. That's the cycle. You just keep going. Enjoy it. We're going to take our time with just a couple stretches, kind of complementary stretches on the back. So come on down to your back if that's appropriate for you. If it's not, if you're pregnant and it doesn't feel good, you could do some similar stretches seated. Kind of, for example, we're going to do an open leg stretch. You could do Janusirsasana instead, and maybe a forward fold over the center while we're on the backs doing similar poses. So once you come onto your back, place your feet down. I like to start here, especially when we've got this umbrella of restorative. And then, of course, you can always straighten your legs as needed. Draw your right knee in, squeeze. And then straighten the leg, hand behind thigh. Everyone has a different amount of flexibility and mobility. If you can bring fingers to toe, great. Otherwise, if you don't have a strap, I didn't ask you to grab one, you could just hold onto your calf. You just don't hold onto your knee because that's too mobile. You hold onto a thicker part of your leg. And then open it up to the right. Another option is you could grab one of those blocks, kind of support the opening. Again, above the knee. You wouldn't do this on the knee joint. So whatever feels good with this open leg pose. Maybe you straighten your left leg. Keep your hips rooted. This is like our triangle pose. And then bring the leg up. You're going to take the outer foot and draw the knee down for a half happy baby, kind of like Skandasana. This is pretty tight on a lot of people's hips, so if you want to bend that knee again, go ahead. Breathe. Got my left hand anchoring left hip, peeling it closer to the ground. Soften the grip, hug your right knee, and then return right foot to ground so knees bent. And it's actually great to just pause here for a moment. I already feel a change in my hips. And then draw left knee in. Straighten left leg. Again, you know your flexibility. If you don't have a strap nearby, you can hold on to your calf and kind of help the leg open that way. Or you could grab peace fingers around big toe and have a bent knee, or of course a straight leg. All of the above could have the support of a block underneath your thigh. Maybe you keep the right knee bent or you straighten. Again, right hand anchors on the hip. We're not here to overstretch. We're here to continue to uncover, to allow those bright layers to melt away and see what's underneath. Bring the leg up and then bend the knee. If you can hold the outer edge of the foot, great. If you have to do inside, that's fine too. Again, this is big on the hip, so if you want to rebend your right knee, that might be a good option. It's half happy baby, which feels a little more like a lizard pose or Skandasana. The space of the hips is often related to the space of the moon. Not only because of that feminine relationship, but also it's deep and dark place where we can kind of cover up things we don't want to see. Keep breathing here. And then gently draw the left knee back in, give it a hug to your chest for a moment. And then set your left foot down and just pause before you go anywhere else. Extend your left leg long and take a moment. Right where you are, right who you are. All those layers, exposed or covered up, however you want. Please continue to rest or possibly repeat the moon salutation. Thank you so much for being here.